All right, we are live. We just finished episode 1, and holy smokes, we're going to wait a little bit to let people come over. They just finished watching. Next door, there was at least 700 people watching. I got a picture here. This is so professional. I'm going to go ahead and hold this up right here. Look at all those people watching episode 1 here at the Alliance Alley Rally. It was phenomenal. These people here, they really opened the door. We can't thank Rob Boyer, Jim Belletti, Coley, all them people that were putting this together. Thank you so much for allowing us to do this watch party over there. It was really cool. So I had to run back here, and I'm parched. Todd, are you parched? I'm parched.
Yeah. So in the new studio, we don't have our air conditioning set up yet. So I really feel like I'm in Florida. I'm in Texas. It's 90 degrees today, and I'm sitting up in the studio here. And I tell you, I've been sweating all day. Yes, I've got my hydration right here with my salty drink. What flavor did you go with today?
I'm going with clean slate because I like the unflavored. I like it to be a little salty.
Right.
You know what I feel like? This is like Wayne's World where they talk about promotions. We're sponsored by Salty. They are the official hydration drink of RV Unplugged. Because frankly, I don't think you could do what we do without getting your daily recommended supply of magnesium, potassium, and salt. So, and I don't know if you can hear the train behind me. I am in Goshen, Indiana at the Alliance Rally. And I'm just going to go ahead and mix some of this in. Some of the best stuff out there.
Man, I tell you, I stick well. So I get the variety pack, and tonight I'm actually going with the smoked mango. I like all the flavors. I haven't tried the unflavored yet. I'm not that bold yet.
This is so funny. We told Salty, and these guys are really cool. We told Salty, yeah, we'll figure out how to put it into the show somehow.
Right. Now I tell you what, based on what we did this year in Florida, and you will see it's cold in the morning and it's warm in the afternoon out there 13 14 hours a day. Believe me, we'll need Salty in our future seasons for the contestants, just to stay hydrated so they're not dead by the end of the night.
And we prefer that. And if you go to the Watch and Win page right now, they're giving a year's supply of Salty away, so go check that out. Also, Matt from Liquefied, you saw him on the chat during episode 1. He's giving a year's supply away. So there's a lot of things. So go to rvunpluggedtv.com, click the Watch and Win, and go win your prizes, man. And how many people here, by show of hands, did you see the More Ride secret code? Make sure you get that in because there's 10 secret codes throughout the series. So let's jump right in. There is so much to unpack, but at least we don't have the time constraint that we had on the pre-show. We're going to bring in Phil and Stacy right now. It's just Phil because we have some questions for him. Phil, welcome to the post-show, the after show. Very nice. Very good start. We're going to go ahead and start with a freeze up. And do you have any other tricks up your sleeve?
That is really cool how he's doing that.
I don't know. Is that a filter? How are you doing that, Phil? Anyways, there he is. Now he's doing his best Max Headroom, if everybody remembers, in the 80s and 90s from MTV.
Yeah, MTV.
Here you are.
Or was that me?
Wow, now you're talking without your lips moving. This is awesome. All right, Phil, we got to ask you. All right, I think one of the best Phil comments that landed next door, we actually had an audible laugh, was "Ask me when we land." All right, so this jumping out of a plane, this was a big deal for you, right? This was like
100% was not going to do it.
Yeah,
and we almost bailed last minute. As a matter of fact, Stacy came to the production team and said, "Guys, you need to stop talking to him about it because he's not going to do it."
Right?
So, my hands are sweating right now just thinking about it.
Oh,
okay,
well,
that's how nervous I was. And I was reading the comments on the side over there. My kids are all chiming in, and they loved it, by the way. They had their own little watch party, so they loved it.
Well, let's watch it again.
Yeah, exactly.
I love it.
Yeah. Did you see, like, I was trying
Pure terror.
breathing?
No,
I
was looking for was the wet shorts.
Yeah,
See, it was going to be wet shorts on the way down.
I landed with clean skivvies, so that was a bonus for me. I got a text from Ryan, who was over in the live audience, and he said somebody yelled out, "Phil looks like he's about to cry." I was. Yeah, I was. I was that nervous. I had a good coach. He was trying to relax me, and he was getting me in the mood to
What?
jump.
Oh my
Trying to
goodness.
relax you, dude. That guy was so funny. He says, "Is this your first time?" And you said,
You said
"Yeah."
yes.
So am I.
So
So it's
me
fine.
too. Yeah, I was like,
Mine too.
no. But I actually thought he was going to trick me when we went to open the door to let the first two guys jump out. I thought he was tricking me to get down there, and then as the door opened, it was just whoop. He was just going to push me out, but he didn't. And I literally, if you'd have checked my heart rate then, it would have probably bounced out of my chest.
Well, that's awesome.
And I remember that, even after the fact, we were kind of warned, hey, let it rest for a little bit, Stacy told me she was actually mad at me because she's tried to get you to go skydiving before. She went skydiving, but you didn't.
No, I held her purse, and I told her over and over. I said, "I will firmly plant my feet on the ground and hold your purse again." There's no shame in my game. Okay,
Right?
I was
that is awesome.
but the opening of the show, the vision that you had for that, it finally sunk in, and I was like, you know what, this is an awesome way to do this, and if I'm going to do it, I better do it now. And then Chad actually texted me during the episode, and he said, "Would you do it again?" 100% yes, I would do it again.
Yeah, and
we don't know if it's still public,
Yeah, and that's a good testament to the show. We're trying to get people to go out of their comfort zones, and there's a lot of people that may have these social anxieties that they're just, I'm afraid I'm going to make a fool of myself, or I don't feel comfortable being around those other people. But if you push yourself beyond that, or find some friends that can encourage you to go do those things, you end up having just a great time.
Yeah, and Todd alluded to how does this all wrap around RV Unplugged? What does jumping out of a plane have to do with RVing? And I typed in the comments that the RV is just a vehicle to get you to the adventure.
Absolutely.
There's so many things to do out there in the country, and you're taking your sweet time in your RV, and you're going out and you're seeing these amazing places and doing these amazing things because of RVing. If you were to drive in your car to Yellowstone and stay in a hotel and maybe go hike once or twice, you're going to miss some of those things that the RV brings to you.
Yeah. Hey, Lori D, I can't see very good. Where can I find out more about each RV couple contestant? Now, that this is a great question, because I think tomorrow or all next week, we're putting out all the contestant stories. So you can learn a little bit more about each contestant. But since they shot that in their contestant colors, we couldn't do it beforehand. So we had to keep that a little bit of a secret.
A little bit different from season 1, where we kind of did a cast reveal beforehand, get their storyline set up. But because this year we didn't want to reveal, as you said, the team colors, just it's RV Unplugged. We're always going to change it up.
Yeah, and I did want to say that this plugged in podcast, I got to make sure we hook our people up.
Pay the bills.
Brought to you by RV Life, and of course, you guys love RV Life today. Someday.
Absolutely, that's been our bread and butter for the last 6 years. Is RV Life.
Well, I'm going to clear this bottom out so we can bring some comments on. So there is a ton of comments coming in. So bear with me. There's a lot.
I got to tell you guys, episode 1. You set the tone. You knocked it out of the park. I was excited, and I knew what was coming. I was trying to eat my ice cream, and I was jumping. I was like, oh, God. So it was fun. I've been waiting for this day. We've been talking it up. We've been telling folks about it. We've been trying to, bring people into the fold and say, hey, look, as the years go by, it's going to be more RVers and less of those out there with cameras in their hand.
We figured the longevity of a show is for the viewer to understand and realize that they can be contestants.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And we're hoping Stacy's going to be able to join you soon.
Well, I just checked. She doesn't drive like me, so she may not make it. But she was trying to get in time. She should be here. I just don't know how soon. But yeah, I got to tell you, my kids, I had them in a chat, and they were watching with their friends, and they're probably watching now. So They absolutely loved it. As did, I think I saw the most on there was almost 1,200.
Yeah.
Watching it live, I think it was up to 1,200.
Well, there was 700 next door.
Yeah,
Or
that,
at least,
that is awesome.
there was a lot of eyeballs in there. So 1,400 eyeballs, technically speaking. So
Yeah,
well, what we're going to do is we're going to move on to the next segment. Because we got a lot of people that are on the studio right now. We want to also bring them in and talk about the different challenges. The Florida Keys, that was basically, up until the moment we got there, you didn't know that you weren't picking teams.
No.
And
I
so
had no idea.
yeah, this just worked out a little bit better. Now, we do have a couple people in studio here. We have 4 people. If you guys want to, I don't know if we're going to gather around here. I can just turn this thing around. We're at the Alliance rally. So, of course, we have Team
Oh, there they are, the Wags.
and we got Team Mazers,
What Mazers?
right? And so,
Fuck
actually,
Keith.
Kevin, you said that, when it comes to the Keys Challenge, you knew a little secret, right? So if you saw Todd say, when it came to the keys, there's 2 different keys. And, just to refresh y'all's memory, check this out.
So we've already given them hints that the house keys don't work. So the teammates that come over and they try and insert the key. If it doesn't go in, they'll throw it back. What's funny is they haven't told their teammates that don't look for the house key, look for the lockout key. You'll notice it.
So you guys instantly picked up on that, and you told Kevin to find the lockout keys. So you were just going around and throwing the house keys?
Yeah. Well, you had to be really careful. If you picked up a house key and you look around and you see someone seeing you do that, then you got to go, crap, I got to give it to Tabitha. She's got to go check it. And then you got to wait till she comes back. But if nobody's looking, you toss that key. You go look for another key.
Right on. And then, of course, the
Team
WAG.
Blue, baby.
Yeah.
We got quite the little studio here.
Last place.
We're all right. So
Best winners.
if you
Well,
look,
when you-
that was not in my
when-
note. I
Oh,
wasn't going to
okay.
bring that up, but now that you brought it up,
Yeah.
It was frustrating.
okay, it was
very
frustrating.
frustrating.
How many keys did you guys check?
A
lot.
lot.
Yeah.
I was like probably one of the last to hear that there were 2 different keys.
Yeah.
So start looking for the specific key. And
Jack and Shelby did mention that somebody got lost.
Basically, she
in the
threw you up the
Yeah.
bus there. Yeah.
he didn't tell me there were
So
2
if
different keys.
you go back and watch the shot of the margarita glass and people are throwing keys in there,
Those
like
were yours?
90% of those were mine.
I had a knack for finding every bad key. It was unreal.
That is so
Well,
good.
You did hear Jack and Shelby say that some folks got lost in the hills. I think
Yeah.
they were talking about
did. Well, speaking of Jack and Shelby, I'm gonna open this up a little bit to get a little more space. Let's bring Jack and Shelby on. So you guys are quickly being characterized as the characters. I think you guys had the most laughs, the laugh out louds. You guys can stay in here. This is great.
Okay.
It's just everything's back
Coming wife.
forward.
Hey, Wags. Hey, Mazers.
Hey, guys.
Hey.
It's been a
How
while
you
since we
doing?
saw each other, right?
Yeah.
All right, so tell us, Jack and Shelby, the Bimble effect in parentheses. By the
Yeah.
way, great job on that channel. They weren't influencers before this, and now they are just shooting out of the
Been influenced.
shooting out of what?
Out the gate, right?
Out of the
Yeah,
gate.
out of the gate.
Thank you.
Like a rocket.
Shooting out of the gate like a rocket. So, tell us, what was your thought on the keys, the Florida Keys?
Oh, well, I was actually getting quite aggravated because he was taking forever.
I mean,
There it is.
And then he kicked me. Did you guys see that he kicked me?
Yeah.
you
Twice.
really you were really yelling at me enough that
Right.
it kind of looked like you needed a kick in the butt. It really did. Leslie,
But yes, that comment,
you remember the feeling when it was taking so long for the key and the panic, and I'm looking for the key and I'm feeling the same type of panic, like what happens if you don't find a key? I don't know. You're off the show. I don't know what happens next. So we were in a corner panicking to the point where we're like, there's no more keys left. It's over. I mean,
All
we're
right,
never
so Jujube 2407 said 10 out of 500. That def had me nervous for you guys. Now,
Yeah.
did it seem like that were that many keys out there? Because it was
felt
such a
like it.
large.
Yes.
Oh, it
Yes.
did. Okay,
Yeah.
wait,
Yeah.
never mind. I was like,
It was like
Wags did.
all right. Well, once you locked in on the right key, I guess that wasn't too bad.
If
So-
you could find it.
Yeah,
I
girl,
thought there was 20
so many
billion.
keys until we couldn't find any. That's great.
Yeah.
So, all right. So, I guess we're just going to keep moving with Phil. I'm sure there's going to be 247 disappointed.
Stacy is 5 minutes away. I just checked her.
All right. Everybody just hang tight. We got a little clip here.
They had no idea what key would even work. When they did find it, it wasn't until they opened the box that they knew which team they were coming to. I like it. Took the guesswork out from us. I can no longer say that Stacy's team that I picked won. So now it's totally on us.
All right. The only reason I play that thing is because you constantly say Stacy's team that I won, or the Stacy's team that I picked won.
True.
That's a true statement. It is the truest statement of season 1.
And I do recall that.
Had Todd not chucked the box and said, switch them,
We almost didn't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this year going into it, so we had no idea how you guys were going to have us select teams. That's what we were thinking. We were still selecting, but we were going through every scenario, doing the what if game. And I was like, surely they won't have us pick again and then switch and switch again. We had no idea. So this one here was probably the most perfect scenario, and let them select us, and they didn't even know they were selecting us.
And I will tell you, as a producer, it is so hard not to let them know what's going on, because they're a big part of the show. They've been with us from the beginning. They actually help bring together the cast with the interviews. They'd send over the videos to us. We'd look at them and say, yes, these are wonderful contestants. And then from there, we kept it quiet. We'd still communicate and everything else. We kept it quiet. And believe me, it's just like the closer you get to production, it's like the closer you get to Christmas, you're going to go, you want a hint? You want a hint?
Yeah, exactly. And I'm so glad. So season 1, we kind of knew a little bit more about things, not a lot, but because it was season 1 and we were still trying to figure things out. So going into season 2, not knowing it really helped us out, because there was no chance that we were going to inadvertently give something away or say something to tip our hand or their hand towards something. Right. So the way it played out, I think it went really well. Didn't it, Kevin?
Apparently.
Hi, Filbert.
All right, Jack and Shelby, thank you. We're going to jump back on with you. We want to bring on the man with the awesome. Oh boy, what's that party over there?
What's up, guys?
This is turning into a blue team party right here.
Yeah, we'll get with that.
It's 5:30 somewhere.
That's right.
That's right. That's right. Look at all these beautiful people. In fact, we lost some of our watch party. They went to
All right, so
drink.
what did everybody think so far?
Say it again, Tony.
So what's everybody think so far? What's the consensus?
Yeah, what are you thinking? What do you think?
Oh, we got the blue crowd. We like blue people. Blue people are awesome.
Blue people.
So tell us, what was your take on the key game? Who was the hunter and who was the?
I was the hunter. I was the hunter.
I was the
verifier.
opener.
She was the verifier. Can y'all hear us? Okay. We
Yeah, great.
Okay.
You guys are doing wonderful.
Yeah. So when Todd said there's 500, there's 10 keys that will work out of 500. I go, we're here till nighttime. That's a lot of keys to have to sift through. And if you find it, how lucky you are to get it. And we were pretty darn lucky.
I know. I think
We were standing back there watching everybody else work while we were drinking, celebrating.
I think it took me 3 tries?
Yeah.
3 tries before we actually got the keys. So
Yeah.
that wasn't too bad.
Oh, we lucked up. Yeah, we lucked up. But I tell you what, though, Todd, you mentioned this earlier. The first 2 keys, I noticed how they looked, and it didn't work. The third key, I go, whoa, I saw it. I go, that key is different. When I handed it to Clay, I said, this was going to open the box.
Right.
And it did, right?
And it sure did.
Yeah.
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 And so, can I tell you, we were actually even concerned as a production crew with all my teams. Now they didn't get the keys because I brought them in, but I recall my setup team. They were like, Todd, we have a problem. This is like the night before because they just saw the keys, or maybe a couple days before. The keys are different. Is that going to be a problem? And I said, well, here's the thing. A lot of people, especially in the game, you're not paying attention to detail, right? And so what it may look obvious to the viewer watching this when you're out there playing, you know your emotions are on high. You're just grabbing stuff and going.
You feel rushed.
Yeah.
Overlook some of the
All right.
details.
We got a couple questions here. So there were 2 different types of keys. Yes, there were, but it was such a large area. That's not the first thing you start thinking about.
Yeah.
No.
How long did it take to complete the key challenge?
It was over an hour.
We shot that over 3 days. And
We had to stop and feed the wags because they were still in the weeds.
Yeah, we brought dinner in for them.
Yeah.
in diapers. I mean, it was an event.
Each episode we started in the morning and finished at nighttime.
Yeah.
Some days we did break for lunch. Some days we didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't recall on this one. Did we get a break?
No, the first day that one was from I think 8 a.m. call time until it was dark.
It was
Right,
dark.
Yeah. So Jeremiah asked, "Are episodes every Wednesday at 8 Eastern?" Yes, I believe so. As long as I schedule them correctly, it will be Wednesday 8 Eastern. It will be a pre-show and after show, just so we can get on and chew the fat and have some fun. All right, Tolosons, as much as I love your voice, and I swear I'm going to be sending you a book so we can do some audio recordings. So I can do that at night. We'll get back to you in a second. All right, love you guys. All right, let's bring on 2 people, and these are some of my favorite girls from Girl Camper.
Oh, there they go.
Lesa and Mary.
Hey, everybody.
Hey guys,
How are you?
we're great.
We're looking for keys.
Yeah, we're still looking for damn keys.
But that's
Still-
for her car.
Right? We're still
Yeah.
So it took you guys a little while to find the keys. What was some of the struggles, Lesa? Were you just not? Was the grass too tall, or the stickers?
Those keys just blended in, and by the time you had everybody tromping on them, they got buried. And then we were just a little dense and not figuring out sooner rather than later that there were 2 different keys to be looking for because we kept finding the damn house keys.
There were a lot of them. There were
a lot of them. I wonder how many are still left out there.
Yeah.
All right, Kathy must be from Florida because they know all about them Florida stickers. Those things are brutal. But luckily there wasn't any there. That was very fortunate because we didn't check till afterwards.
We did wonder as we were crawling around there. Yeah.
So the teams, blue and red. I guess we have a lot of people. Or we'll save that question for the end about the team selection, how it ended up. If you guys have any questions, please put them in the comments. We have just about everybody here, and we're going to be bringing them in and out. What did y'all think of the season premiere? Now, just so everybody knows, nobody has seen this. I mean, they lived it, but they haven't seen any of the edits.
And we haven't seen everybody else's points of view.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, they're still a little freaked out because we had mics on them all day, and we had contracts that said we can use anything you say. Right. So, but we probably, we're not. This is we're trying to create community here, so we're not.
The only thing you're going to get out of Kevin's mic between cuts is yum 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 yum.
Yeah.
We did have a lot of people come up and say, "I forgot to turn my mic off when I went to the bathroom."
Right. Yeah.
And we have noticed that a lot. It's like, wow. And some of the talking, the crap talking, especially about me.
No, whatever.
It's like, really? I didn't think I was that good looking, but apparently everybody thinks that behind my back.
All in love. All in love.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys. We're going to bring everybody back on at the end, but right now we want to make sure that we get some other people on here. Matt and Mandy.
Pulling up right now.
She's pulling up right now. Awesome. We're going to get us some cakes. All right, Matt and Mandy, awesome team here. How did you guys work out the keys challenge?
Man, we were just looking and looking and looking. I thought with 500 some odd keys in there, it'd be a little bit easier to find at least the wrong one. Couldn't even do that for a while.
Dustin was doing that. He found all the wrong ones.
I found all the wrong ones. 90% of them.
So the thought was some of them they had stuck in the ground, and it was already too late, but because they reached out and said, "Hey, we're sticking them in the ground." I'm like, "There's no way they're going to find those." So then we started displacing them. But you got to think, as soon as you guys were running around, if y'all stepped on it because that was sand, it was going straight in there.
Jennifer Lucas, when that field gets mowed, watch out for key shrapnel. That's awesome. Well, luckily that area doesn't really get mowed. It's like, I don't even know what that place was. It was like an old stand
where they dumped the dirt.
Yeah. That's field dirt. They'll dig it up at some point and use it.
Yeah. So we do want to. I think we beat the keys challenge to death. I do want to talk about the solar challenge a little bit, but first, I think we need a transition. I worked hard on those guys. I mean, so I'm gonna use them, you know. And when I mean worked hard, that was a 3-second transition. So it was
took
fun.
18 hours to make that.
All right, solar challenge. Now,
Hey, there she is.
Matt and Mandy, love you guys. We're gonna bring you back on in a little bit.
She set some land speed records to get here.
Wow, look at that. That's interesting there.
Is Stacy wearing blue?
Yeah.
Oh, it's our
Oh,
it's our cruise T-shirt.
Look, I tell her what to wear every day, and she doesn't listen.
Right.
All right, so Stacy, we were talking about well, this. In Port Phil. In his poor little
Yeah. Look, you showed it again, and instantly my hand started sweating.
It was such a cool shot. It looked CGI, but that
real.
You know, Todd, I said the same thing. I said if you didn't know any better, you'd think that was a green screen and I fell off a chair.
That's actually your foot that comes around the GoPro that was under the, because I called Matt. He's our 4-time Grammy. No.
Yes.
Yeah. Emmy. Grammy.
And that's Mike.
Killer musician too. Yeah. Anyways. And I asked him, I said, did you like take his foot and like superimpose it or something to key it out? So he goes, oh no, that was his foot that when you came out, like you went under the plane and kind of went around. And
I tumbled coming out, and Stacy kind of fell gracefully. I came out like
I don't know about that, but
I tumbled.
I
But what you did,
wonder how
What's
close
that?
they kicking the camera off the plane.
right?
Well, what you didn't catch, and I don't know if the GoPro on the back of the plane, but when we got to the door and I was sitting out with my legs out and I had my arm up holding the pole above us, the bar, my jump instructor, he says, okay, you can let go now. He told me 3 times before I let go. Because I was looking down and the clouds we were above the clouds, so the clouds were throwing me. Yeah. So I hesitated.
So Sea Wolfpack 3, not 1 or 2. This is the 3rd Sea Wolfpack. She says, did some poor camera operator have to jump? Actually, Jump Florida. If you get a chance to jump out of a perfectly lit airplane, this is the place to go. These guys were so cool, and they put these cameras on their arms, and they make you feel real comfortable, and it's definitely got to check it out.
We took skydive. They jump up to 18,000 feet.
Yeah. So I don't know if you noticed in the scene where Stacy's chute opened and her strap came above the top part and hit her right here. There were a lot of comments during the show that said, it looked like Stacy was going to slip out of her harness.
I was in snug. That strap came up and everything else was really tight and snug. So
her
I didn't
girls-
even realize that
Yeah.
it moved up.
Yeah, her girls
Hey,
were in the way.
Stacy, just so you know, our numbers are going up now that you're here. So thank you for coming. I mean, Phil did his best.
Hey, I was trying to hold it down.
Of course, Stacy got choked when the shoot.
Truth needs to be here. That's what it is. You can't always take Phil's
this?
word for it.
Oh, how many feet was Phil's skid on the landing? I thought that said something else.
How long? How many?
Clean. I did. I think I bounced once a little bit, but I did come down with clean skivvies, so that was a win for Phil.
I still cannot believe he actually did it because
talked
I
about
want
it.
you guys to know for like 20 years I tried to get him to do it. Yeah, and he wouldn't do it for me. No, but
I
he'll
did
do it for you.
I did it for the community.
I gotta hand it to you, y'all. I appreciate it. So we've moved on to the. I worked hard on those. I'm gonna use them. We're moved on to the solar challenge, and I want to bring on a couple here that they pretty much set the world land speed record on the fastest way to lose a key token. Everybody, it is Joe and Rachel from the two crazy key token gifters.
But,
So,
that is not what I want to be known for. That's for sure.
I want to just I want to play something real quick.
So as I was picking up the garbage and like moving things from one place to another, on the pallet was the first key token. Beautiful. Secret. Got it.
Secret. Clue.
What happened?
Somebody
You hand it to her and say, secret.
I am so excited that we're still married after that decision. But yes, I was so excited about being a part of a team that I just stopped thinking about the individual game and thought that this had to be something about the team challenge. And so I was just like, find the first teammate. Secret. And that first teammate just didn't want me to go.
By the way, it's a secret.
Oh, you having it.
But I like how she tried to explain
100 times when we got back to the RV.
Yes.
She explained it as it was a tool.
But look, she was on it that day. She worked her butt off during that solar challenge. She was all over the place. She was focused on getting the job done. So, and it was all new. Nobody had seen those before. So, you know, unfortunately, once she realized it was too late, but
Secret.
she's a team player all the way.
Secret.
Was her punishment
Secret.
to eat sugar? Don't you do it.
So awesome. And we were, you know, we were just so excited to get to be on Stacy's team. Like we realized we are on Team Red. And I gotta say, and it really, I think, came out in episode 1, just how organized both of the teams were as far as like getting the different, you know, people to do their jobs. I thought that was really cool.
Stop touching! Stop touching!
Yes. That was impressive.
I know, my kids.
What was hurt is we had to watch that with like 300 people here on the cruise. We're on the cruise right now. We just had a watch party with like 200 or 300 people.
Awesome.
And they all
we have like 700 here.
797.
Yeah.
The whole room turns to look at me like, what is wrong with you?
So,
I did not know this is a game.
this close from pulling that clip, Stacy. I honestly, every time we were editing and I got to that point, I stood up straight like I was in trouble. Yeah.
Look,
Like,
my daughter texted during that scene and she goes, I now need an emoji with mom saying, stop touching.
They were probably having flashbacks from childhood.
Yeah.
You can hear the direction, you know, with Stacy on her team and Phil on his, and it's two different tones. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Well, Stacy got a lot of there were a lot of comments that the guys need to do this and the girls will do that. A lot of ladies didn't like that in the comments.
I saw that. What do you mean this is a guy's challenge? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And a bunch of girl campers chimed in and said, that's why we like camping with girls, because we do it all or something. And I was like, ooh, she's not even here to defend herself.
Well, I will say the reason it was separated that way is because we were going by height and we had to raise a canopy. So the tallest people there were the guys. And so that's why they did that. And if anybody who knows me, I will fight when we talk about dividing by the sexes because I don't play that game. But this was totally about height. And the tallest people, that's the job they got.
She don't play.
That's right. We all know girls can take it. So
I definitely wanted to help because, you know, we had stopped the time. And as you could see, like things weren't quite right. We had to like retuck in the canopy. I could not reach it. I needed a step ladder in order to just get to that top place.
Yeah. Well, awesome, guys. Well, we're gonna bring everybody on in just a second. Actually, you know what? Let's just go ahead and do that now, and we want to see the comments just start blowing up.
It's so good to see everyone.
All right, everybody. Yeah, Darryl, you're probably gonna have to turn your. Is that you?
Yeah, I think it is.
No, it's always Darryl. Come on, Darryl.
Sit down and just play on the camera.
You can watch it afterwards.
Hey, Tessa.
Right now.
Hi, guys.
Hi. It's a party over there at the Tulsin household.
I know, right?
Hey, Tulsin, high five. Tulsin, high five.
Tulsin, high five.
What? Hey, Kevin, what you posted today wasn't even right, man. It was not even right. Maybe Tabitha did it.
You all so much.
All right, so a question from Steve. It says Rachel is a team player, but she can't keep a secret.
That's a serious question.
Oh, I'm sorry. That wasn't a question.
That was a statement.
All right. So everybody, if you got some questions, well, you know, Karen and Chris, Aaron is not on here, unfortunately. But Archer was earlier, but he had to go take a walk. Had to run.
The thumbs kept getting in the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, just take a whiz.
So the
Shelby, foot in mouth, meow.
I wasn't gonna say that. Okay, so what did you all think of the set?
Amazing.
It was awesome. I thought it was perfect. Yeah. I thought it really captured RV Unplugged. I mean, yeah. And when Todd would come out at nighttime on that deck, everybody was like, it's like he stepped out like he was just the man of God there, the preacher that walked out and impart to us some divine wisdom. It was great, man. I mean that. We loved it.
The preacher at the podium.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, at times it was a little intimidating, but it worked out.
It was probably the only time we were all quiet is when he was speaking.
Yep. Every time we had to sit in those seats and wait for some form of judgment and looking up at God at behind his podium, we just got to wait and see what's next.
Thou shalt vote somebody off. Or not, maybe. I don't know. Let's pull a scroll.
So
one day I will go retrieve the votes.
All right, one day at a time with David asked, so funny, looks like you had a blast. Yes.
Yeah.
Where are the bandits? Yes. Where are the bandits?
There's always bandits.
We were just asking about that.
Thank you so much for the
Ashanti's waiting for Talmage to put on his pants.
Wait.
Hold on.
Hey. Cologne.
Maybe they didn't get the cologne. They're still going
Talmage,
Oh, yeah,
everybody.
and his mosquito impellent.
They were in the chat earlier. They were on the chat.
Hey, can I tell y'all a story? When y'all were when we were kind of in the casting process, there was a couple of y'all that had some really interesting story. One, the two crazy ketos, they told us that in preparations they were not going to shower to like
stuck to that.
You know, we do shower in our rigs.
We showered every single day of RV Unplugged.
The bandits went down to Florida and said they're running around without mosquito spray.
He was like, fight these mosquitoes.
I was like, what do you think we're gonna have you do?
Got to prepare for everything.
Yeah. Tony, that's why I said I wanted Talmage on our team, because anybody that's more than willing to risk malaria in order just to prepare for the show, what's that guy going to do on the show? That's why I'm glad he's on our team.
Well, I'll tell you what. Does anybody have any, just the day one memory that kind of stands out in your mind? Like, oh boy, what have we got ourselves into?
I got something.
All right, Dustin.
So they made it look parking looked way easy.
Yes.
Oh yeah, did you like
that
that?
was not easy. That took like 3 hours to park those rigs in that sand.
Because we had to wait for Todd to come
Very
in
true.
on the helicopter.
Yeah.
Very true.
And there is nothing worse than having to back up your RV in front of other RVers.
And we're all judging.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, oh my gosh, did he turn his wheel too far?
Yeah.
They had to go up.
That's so true.
Yeah. Not only is everybody watching, but we're filming you at the same time.
It was actually me that I parked really, really well, and they didn't even show mine.
All right, we got a question here. Which team felt like the universe conspired against them the most?
Oh,
It's the black, which is these guys.
That's a trick
We
question.
all were getting some wrath of the.
Yeah, I was just saying that's a trick question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, day one, when the challenge was set up your tents, and you've got couples or folks that have come together for the first time, never worked with each other, don't know anybody from the next person, and they set that whole thing up, both teams, in 14 minutes and some odd seconds.
Yeah.
I mean, that right there just shows the level of commitment and the level of talent that was on the show, because they literally, I mean, they pulled together, boom, and off they went.
Can I say that I just put my solar system on our new RV? It took me more than 14 minutes to unbox the solar panels.
You didn't have
The way they wrapped those solar panels, I forgot that they were in boxes when we did that challenge, because those things are out of the box.
Well, me and Lisa were like shredding the boxes open. I can still remember just like tearing it off together to unbox it.
Yeah.
Hoping that we didn't lose any parts in the process.
Can I tell you, Joe and Rachel, you guys have just an amazing following.
Yeah.
But
Well,
you didn't let me finish. But
That goes along with it.
It's a bit Hydra address-esque, No, they're awesome. Question: who fell in love with Two Crazy Ketos the most?
Registered Nomad.
You're registered nomad.
Apparently.
But, hey, Tony, I tell you, it took us since they were on the red team. It took us a while to warm up to them, but we love them, and I commend them for what they are. But it took us a minute to warm up to them because they were on the red team.
That's because there wasn't a lot of interaction. There wasn't a lot of time when we were shooting for red and blue to mingle. So really, it was just a natural sequester just because of what we had to get done.
Yeah.
Rachel does have a very infectious, positive, high energy attitude, and she's always got a big smile.
It was awesome getting to just know you guys, and I loved every opportunity we had to purple when the red.
Yes,
I love the
purple.
Well, that's a future episode.
Yeah.
Of course, I think everybody understands. You mix blue and red, and you get.
What?
Yeah, that's why we call it that.
Information together.
Hey, did everyone bring enough supplies like food, TP, and electric?
Too much.
This is actually a great question because the production's the production's 2 weeks long, right? And if you're not an avid boondocker, that might sound like an eternity. But if you are an avid boondocker, it's like, Lisa, can you speak into that? Lesa Mary?
Oh, sorry. I'm getting texting from other people that's popping up. Yes.
Well, I'm sorry. Do you need to go? I didn't mean to bother you.
People
Lisa, I'll send you text later.
privately about asking me questions, and I'm like, guys, I'm on the show. Duh.
Doing the same.
So no, the boondocking was great, and I think Mary and I probably came in with the most experience as far as boondocking, which you can kind of judge that from that we had the tiniest campers compared to everybody else. I mean, we do a lot of boondocking, so it was fine. For us, we also don't have big kitchens, so my food was all dehydrated like backpacking meals. That's what I came prepped to do. But luckily, a few of the challenges you guys did feed us, which was very appreciated.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and we came in with no water. The season 1, they couldn't come in with water. So Lisa and I did not come in with water, so we only had the drinking water.
Yeah, it was a misunderstood element. People thought that they weren't drinking, and we provided drinking water in season 1. We just didn't provide showering water. We thought it would be great for everyone to smell.
And again,
season 2,
we're learning.
Started that.
Learning from season to season. Mary T says situations like RV Unplugged, even though you don't know each other when you arrive, when you leave, you are soulmates forever.
True.
So
at the end of the first day, you're like, I don't want to vote anybody off.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good point.
I still message Dustin before sleep.
That's his brother. That's his
Hey,
soul.
that's
Yeah.
One thing I did want to say about that whole you become friends forever.
you become friends almost immediately too on the show. It's such a unique experience to be on a show where, Shelby and I watch all the reality type shows and competitions. And sometimes when you see people with extra emotions, it's hard to believe that they're actually feeling that way just so soon after meeting the people. And it's weird to say that you really almost have to be on a show like this to understand the truth behind that, because it happens so fast and faster than it might in real life when you're involved in something like this and you're so close. So this is a little, preemptive to what's going to happen in future shows, but there's a lot of emotion there in a short period of time when you're on a show like this together.
Yeah, very true. And from both extremes,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eyes and
The
low
emotions
up.
were all over the place.
Yes.
Yeah, Kevin, Tree Stump here. He was the first to come to me and goes, man, I thought season 1, those guys were just being sissies. And he's like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to vote anybody off. This is going to be too hard. And, as we progress through the season, just keep that in mind.
And I'll
Evelyn, what does it say?
Reveal a secret. Kevin cried every single night.
Yeah.
I still cry myself to sleep on my large pillow.
We don't understand the fetal position, but it was neat.
First thing Kevin told me when I met him is, I'm not a crier. It's almost the first thing Kevin said. I'm not a crier. Right? And then
myself.
You'll have to watch the rest of the show to see if maybe Kevin might be a crier. All right. Who leads with that? Who is, hey, my name's Kevin. I'm not a crier. So I was like, that's cool, Major.
I'm cool.
All right, so Evelyn, as far as how much food, asked Rachel about the fat on the brisket. I'm guessing Joe felt slighted. Hey, and just so you guys know, Joe and Rachel did a full what we ate every day video, and I recommend you watching it. It's great information for the food, but I love, and maybe it's just my twisted sense of humor, I love watching from day one their cherry disposition to the end where they're like, we're having a brick bar,
Right.
Yeah.
I did a 14-pound brisket, and by day 2, Rachel trimmed all the fat off the brisket and ate the fat and left the lean part. If you like, that's not the good part.
Yeah, like seriously, by a couple of filming days, and it was like a cold hot dog or like just whatever. It's just I have it and just go.
I love how different all of our food desires are.
Yeah. It was kind of hard for Shelby, right? Because she's vegetarian. So, I thought she might pass out through half those competitions, right?
Well, Kevin had his sugar. The ketos had all their meat.
Yeah.
Everybody else was kind of in between.
You had your veggies. Yeah.
Well, Tabitha and I had food restrictions.
That's true.
Right. So the veggies allowed you to carry buckets of water from the bathroom to the living room.
I was lacking protein. That's why I fell down the stairs.
Nice. Jim and Carol Rector said, hard to beat the WAGS support from veterans. Go Team WAGS. And I got to say this. If you go watch the behind the scenes, the 4 little things that we put out earlier, we were at the Today is Someday Homes for Our Troops fundraiser. And what didn't make the cut, which I don't know why we didn't get that part.
Why didn't we?
It's a conspiracy.
It is a conspiracy.
They also brought a check, and they do so much great work for veteran stuff. So everybody give it up.
Every episode.
If you're at home, if you're not clapping, where's your soul?
Yeah, you're not cool.
All right. Here's a good one. Did Joe and Rachel convert any of you to keto or carnivore?
I'm down with carnivore. Let me go. I want steak every day, all day.
That's something I can get behind.
It's something that Tony and myself have already experienced. Now, during production, we didn't have food restrictions because we had Camp Margaritaville, cater for us. So it was kind of hard to do keto at that point, but it is something that, we both actually do currently.
Right on. All right. I do have one last little clip to play. And this has to do with the final challenge. Now, when you look at the team stacked, how did you all feel? And let's let's go ahead and start with Matt and Mandy because it seems like you're just a fly on a wall right now. How did you feel the teams were stacked after everything, after the Florida Keys game? And Darryl, I had to mute your mic because your background music is so loud. I will unmute it if you turn it down, if you promise to turn it down.
He was shushing them already.
Yeah.
Shushing the crowd.
He's like, get out.
I gave you a shout. I had to unmute you. I'll unmute you when it's your turn. All right, Matt and Mandy, tell us, how did you feel about the teams? Because it's going to lead into this next little thing we're going to do.
So it was a little difficult at first because we didn't have a chance to really get to know anyone. We pulled up in our RVs, hopped out, and started looking for keys, and then boom, we're in 2 different teams. But I felt very good after the solar challenge because even though we talked about a few key elements that we had as like strong suits, we all just meshed very well, and we all just started doing little things that helped us in that few seconds, few moments to win that challenge. And so I felt better at the end of the day, like, okay, we got through a first challenge, we meshed well. I think we're probably good here.
Dustin, Leslie?
Yeah, I felt really good about it.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew immediately that Blue had us outmatched physically.
For strength. Absolutely.
Well,
yes.
just because of Kevin.
Just
Yes.
for the strength they had us beat. But
Yeah.
but we got together and we talked about that early on
We all
when we made our
admitted
teams.
it.
And we said, look, if we're gonna have a chance, it's gonna have to be on strategy and wit.
Nerd power.
Yeah.
All right.
Clearly, we don't have that.
All right, Kevin and Tabitha, how we doing after you were looking around at your teams? How were you feeling?
Honestly, we could not have picked a better team if we tried. So
Well, there you
we
go.
were really loving the team that we ended up on.
Yeah, great people. Honestly, we enjoyed their personalities, everybody's leadership that they brought to it, and everybody was hardworking. So, I mean, we were happy with our team.
All right, let's go to Darryl. I'm going to go ahead and unmute you, Darryl and Clay. Oh, it's so quiet over there. Oh,
And we had to kick them out. We had to
there
kick
you
them
go.
out. But
Sometimes
I
you
think our team from day one, when we looked around and we saw what our team looked like, I echo what Kevin and Tabitha are saying. We could not have had a better team. I think from day one, everybody gelled. Everybody gelled and everybody got along. We just loved our team.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, well, Adventure Bandits, they actually commented, I thought we had a stronger, meaner team.
We smelled better.
Yeah.
We smelled we smelled good.
Oh, and look at this already. Adventure Bandits thought, does this mean Red wins? So listen, we're not going to say who won. Everybody
gotta
knows.
watch.
We're talking about episode 1 right now. Ain't gonna happen. Nice try. All right, Team Girl Camper. How was your feelings on the team you ended up on?
I was pleased as punch to be on the red team, and I think we had a phenomenal team. I think all of us came in with different strengths, so I was really looking forward to the competition against the blue team. And Kevin's size doesn't intimidate me. I've got one of them at home.
Bring it, Kevin.
Kevin's size doesn't intimidate me.
Yeah.
So I thought the red team, no matter how it was put together, came in perfectly well.
Awesome. Pleased as punch. I love that.
I'm
stealing that. You are the sweetest person in the world. Lesa, same feelings?
Same feelings. I did think initially, that the blue team maybe were younger and a little stronger, but our age and wisdom, I think, balanced that out really well.
All right.
Wisdom. Red team was wisdom.
Joe, Rachel, Jack, and Shelby, real fast. How was your feelings, Joe, Rachel?
There was no denying. Like, you looked over at the blue team and you saw like Kevin and Talmage, and and you're like, okay, they've definitely got us in the strength and looking at them. But I looked at our team and I'm like, we're gonna just take it when it comes to any kind of like challenge where you have to start using mental abilities and things like that. So I thought in the end it would like even out one way or the other because not every challenge would be able to be physical.
Yeah, so I got to say I love the way Joe. Joe, thank you for putting it that way because dumb like stump, right? But yeah. What was I gonna say? I can't remember. What was I gonna say?
Hey, I've also got a good smile.
Hey, while you're thinking about it, Charity and Ben are on here. Good friends from season 1.
Oh yeah.
Grateful Glamper.
Yeah.
In the house.
Red. We love Ben and Charity.
Oh, they were red last year.
Jack, while you were making fun of his, did you remember what you were gonna say?
So yeah, I was just gonna quickly say that for us, I thought it was just like Joe said, strength, muscle. Because I mean, you look at like Talmage and Mazer, and then even I don't know when you have Aaron. These guys are beat, right? Mm-hmm. So you like the unforgetting Aaron and they're beasts, and we thought we had. But what really worked was the chemistry. It kind of came around that way for our team. The chemistry was something that you can't plan or look at from the outside, And obviously, we hope we will win every physical challenge, yet to be seen in future episodes. And then, we had to show up with some mental at times, right? So we tried not to be dumb like Stump at some point.
Well,
Right?
I also think that Archer, Darryl, and Jack have muscles as well. It's not just
Don't give me too much credit.
All right,
saying.
so now for Phil and Stacy, how did you like the way the teams?
Yeah.
Once my team was selected, the first thing that went through my head is if I don't win this year, I'm never winning.
Perfect. Hold on, time out. You
Suck it!
Stacy.
Yeah.
So grateful.
She's very humble in
that
her
was
winning,
the longest build up to that point.
No, I seriously, once I got to look at my team, I was like, if I don't win this year, I don't care what the challenges are. If I don't win, because I knew we had strength, I knew we had brains in the group. The ladies in my group had some of the brightest and smartest ideas on when we looked at a challenge or when we were trying to come up with gameplay. They were, right there from the beginning. So I really thought, man, if I don't get it this year, I'm turning my shirt in and I'm not coming back.
Just
I was not worried.
Last season. I love that.
I was pleased as punch. I love that. No, I was thrilled. I knew, especially we were meshing together. I knew strategy. Look, Tree Trunk is great. But when it comes to RV Unplugged, you cannot just say, "Oh, they got muscles, they're winning." That's not how it works. We're not coming around the corner. So I knew, I was confident in our team. I knew we were going to take blue. I was not worried at all. I loved all of my team members. We
to quote Howard from season 1, he said he had a body for quiche making. Okay, and he was in the final, right? So it just proved that he was brains, he wasn't muscle, and he got himself and his team into the final.
Right, and just tonight we saw that Team Red overcame, right?
Suck it!
I had to have a little fun when I can. Come on.
We need t-shirts, guys. We need RV Unplugged t-shirts. Suck it.
And you know what? All I got to say is she's all mine, fellas. She's all mine.
All right. Well, hey, everybody, it's actually been an hour. Isn't that crazy? Wow. Yeah. And hopefully next episode we'll be able to get Aaron and the bandits on time. But
oh no!
Good luck. Not likely.
Yeah. Well, no. Sometimes it's hard to get on a good Wi-Fi.
Look, Joe and Rachel
guys, are on a cruise ship, and they're here sitting next to us. They're right there. They're right there.
Step it up.
Come on.
Well, you know what? I bet you. Is that, whose mic is that? That wasn't the Colson this time. And that's
That's
well, hey, everybody.
The helicopter coming to pick up Todd.
Oh, jeez.
Very good.
I do have to say before we go that we haven't seen everybody since the shoot,
Yeah.
and everybody looks freaking amazing.
I know, it's so good to see all these
I've been- I've been working out.
I've been eating.
I can tell. I can tell. I'm more. I want to meet up with Clay for a little bit because I've been working on my skincare, Clay. Stacy, we've been working on it.
Don't
Okay.
worry, I'll help you out with that.
Okay, all right, that's what I'm looking forward to the most.
Oh gosh.
All right. Well, so we got a question here. Did Phil and Stacy pre-pick teams, or was it on the spot picking? For season 1, they picked the teams, and then we switched them without them knowing. This one, if you go back and watch episode 1, there's a whole section on the Florida Keys.
Yeah.
And since I worked really hard on this, you can see and watch.
I love it.
I love that.
Watch them
I love
actually
that.
how it happened. So,
Gameplay. Loved it.
what's that?
It was gameplay. I love that gameplay decided the teams. It was really cool.
Great idea.
Yeah. Well, everybody, thank you so much for being on here. Thank you for being at our studio
You're welcome, sir.
in
You're
the
welcome.
expo hall. And of course, Todd, thanks for holding down the fort at in Athens. Listen, next week is episode 2. We're going to be there at half an hour before for the pre-show. In the pre-show now, we're going to be able to talk about some juicy stuff. You know, before we could talk about our sponsors. We still will. But there is a possible vote off next week. That's what we heard. So, what happened?
Forget O'Doyle rules.
Oh, wait. Before we go,
Go Alliance.
applause for Tony's work. I agree with him 100%. Awesome. Well, I love you guys.
Hey, we want to thank you all for watching. Tune in next week for episode 2, pre-show, post-show, plugged in. We'll see you there.
Yep.
Yeah.
See you guys.
Yeah, great seeing you. Great seeing y'all.
Bye, guys.